This is a PokePress Mailbag. Hi, I'm Stephen Reich here with our first batch of letters for this mailbag. Our first letter comes from Psychic. How long have you liked collecting Pokemon cards, and do you play in tournaments? I've been collecting cards since about 9 years ago, back in 2000. I don't play a lot in constructed tournaments where you bring your own deck. I do play a lot in pre-releases, which are where 2 weekends before the set comes out, you go in and they give you 6 packs to start off with, and you build a 40-card deck with basic energy they supply. I just like those because you have to sort of think on your feet, and it's a sort of level playing field. Now, it's obviously very random since you have a small card pool to work from, but I think they're a lot of fun. The reason I don't play in constructed events, I find it's not a very effective way to go around and meet people and sort of promote my station and my YouTube channel. So that's why it works that way. Our second question comes from Jackal945, who is just asking, hey, I was just wondering what you were thinking about the new remakes of Silver and Gold. I'm glad they're redoing this. I liked Fire Red and Leaf Green. I had Leaf Green before I actually ended up losing it, unfortunately. I got Gold back in 2000 when the games already came out, or originally came out, I should say. So I'm probably going to go and get Soul Silver this time when it comes out in the US, probably sometime early next year, about when Platinum came out this year, probably be when it comes out here. And then Treywar25 asks, how many Pokemon cards were ever made? Well, that depends what you're asking. If you're asking how many unique cards, it's probably a couple thousand. There's about 100 cards in a set nowadays. And there's been like 30 sets, something like that, maybe more. If you're asking how many have ever been made, hundreds of millions, I'm sure, maybe even a billion. I forget how many times, if you put them at the equator, they would stretch around the world, but I think several times, actually many times. And then we have Dan, the Pyrus King 25 asks, is the 12th movie coming out in theaters with the Shiny Pichu giveaway like in Japan, or are they just going to put it on TV and give the Pichu away at TRU, Toys R Us again? Your guess is as good as mine. I don't have any inside knowledge as to whether the next Pokemon movie will be in US theaters or not. Basically what it comes down to is it's a business decision by TPCI, and Nintendo proper probably has some input in something that major as well. You know, it depends. I'm guessing they're holding out to see how good of a deal they can get with whoever would be distributing the movie, whether that would be Warner Brothers, Universal, someone else. So we'll just have to wait and see. We probably won't find out for sure until sometime later this fall. I really hope it's in theaters. Even if they do it in theaters, of course, they may not do the Pichu giveaway there because of the logistical challenge there. It might actually be on more screens in the US, assuming it gets a wide release, than it would in Japan because the US is a bigger country. So they may actually decide to do the Pichu giveaway separately, perhaps even to promote the movie if it's going to theaters, or even to promote it on video if it's going there as well, because that's what they did with Giratina and the Sky Warrior. So our last question is from Sun8675309, and he asks, what do you think is the best card in the next set, Supreme Victors? It comes out, I believe, next month in the US. I don't really look at sets, and you know, the Japanese sets always come out about 6 months ahead of the US ones, because they don't always line up one-to-one. Sometimes cards are shuffled around between sets, like the Gardevoir in Secret Wonders was originally going to be printed, I think it's the Gardevoir, was going to be printed a few sets later, and they moved it up. And they'll, you know, often throw in like promo cards that don't have any logical way in the US to be distributed. They'll often do that. For example, the EX Emerald set was actually a couple of pre-constructed decks and some promo cards that they threw together into a full set. So that ends our first set of questions. Go ahead and keep sending them in. If you're posting a comment to a video's question, please comment on the original video. I don't want to have to shuffle between all those videos. Otherwise, you can also email them in to the address that's appearing on your screen right now. Or you can post a video response, and again, make sure that's to the original video so that I can keep track of everything. Keep sending those questions in. Thanks.
This has been a PokePress Mailbag.